The day you got to know that there's more in less, that's exactly the day you focus more on quality and not quantity, right? Last week Tuesday was a very big win during our technical Tuesday. We had a setup on the AUDCHF that gave us a very good risk reward ratio. And today I want to show you how we're able to approach the market on the higher time frame to a lower time frame. One part of this video that I don't want you to miss is that of the entry model. We got a beautiful head and shoulder for us to take the sell. As you can see on my chart today, right, we have, looking at the market on the weekly time frame. At the early of September, I explained to us that now I will be focused more on the higher time frame trend because we are going towards the end of the market. I want to focus on a high probability setup. So because of that, we look at the higher time frame on this particular chart. This is weekly time frame, and on the weekly time frame, if you notice what the market is doing, this market is a downtrend. Looking at the market, this market is in a downtrend, so the market is selling. And because of that, we now said let's look at what the current movement market is giving us, and we now notice that this was a high swing and also the low. So looking at that particular movement, we're expecting AUDCHF to give us a retracement back to this particular weekly order block. Based on what the market, based on how the markets move, we don't really control the market, so the market does its things. We notice that the market did not really retrace to that particular weekly order block, and we decide to use our fibs to even see the level at which the market reacted from. Now looking at it, the market goes above 50%, so that means the market is already at a premium price. So the sell, which is this particular level here, this sell started from this particular level here, which is a very good premium price, already above 50% of the retracement. And because of that, during the technical Tuesday, we now said, okay, how can we be able to get into this particular trade? Then we now step down to the lower time frame, which happens to be on the daily time frame. And we notice that on the daily time frame, right? Never forget that we are looking for how we can join a sell on this particular chart. So on the daily time frame, as at that time, we're having this particular daily hobby here. This is what the daily hobby we're looking at. We're looking at this particular daily hobby. Yeah, the market has not gotten to this particular order block as at the time we're having it. And we're like, okay, if you have this particular hobby, not which is valid to meet our condition, now step down to 4 hours time frame. On the 4 hours time frame, we're looking at the internal structure. Now we have this particular market shift to the downside here, which happens to be a kind of a change of character to the downside. Me looking at this particular internal structure corrections to the upside, market was pushing up to the upside, and we now have this 4 hours change of character. Never forget that we did not make our decision based on these 4 hours. We started from a weekly time frame to a daily time frame, and now the 4 hours has also aligned with what is happening on the daily time frame. So now when we have this, then the next thing is we pick up a pattern, which is impulse and correction movement. So we notice that the market has done a kind of impulse and correction movement based on how we are seeing the market on the 4 hours time frame, because the market has aligned with the higher time frame directions on the 4 hours time frame, and because of that, we're now looking at possible conditions which will give us that confidence for us to take the trade, and we got this particular movement on the 4 hours time frame. Now looking at it, we're targeting this particular 4 hours OB, which is going to be the immediate TP. And we're now in this time whereby we now need to look for additional confidence in taking this particular trade. Never forget that all the time frame has aligned with our projection, which you want to join a sell movement on AUDCHF. Now we are not getting to a point whereby we want to take the trade, but we want to have that clear confirmation, and that is where we get into this particular entry model. Now let's look at it from this point. Let's look at it from this point. The market was trying to come in here. Part of the confluence is we notice that the market has also built liquidity here. This is a kind of liquidity area which we're expecting markets to do what? Markets come and grab the liquidity. No, if you check what we have here, we are building we are building a kind of rule-based system for us to make our decision. So we're looking at this particular liquidity area here, and the market was somewhere here as at the time we're having the analysis. And I said, I'm expecting market to push up this particular level and take out this liquidity and also respect this particular 4 hours OB for the markets to start selling to the downside. Now, if you are taking your trade on this 4 hours time frame, let's look at it. If you are taking on the 4 hours time frame, we have here, and you have, maybe you try to cover this particular high. Okay, you're having about 20 pips stop loss, and if you take that sell to the downside here, you have about ratio 1 to 6. That is a very big win, having ratio 1 to 6 in just one trade. Now, for me, as a person that has a very good entry model, and I need to step down to lower time frame, and that is where the real magic is. So that if somebody that is getting to the market depending on that, if I'm also waiting for lower time frame, what would be my reward? Then, and I step down to 1 hour. On 1 hour time frame, the market gave us a very good head and shoulder pattern, which is this. We have this. We have this. We have this. Uh, Now, so this is what we got on that 1 hour time frame, having a very good head and shoulder pattern within our 4 hours order block. And we were able to, I already explained to us, if you are selling as using your 4 hours order block, you're having a 20 pip stop loss, and you're expecting average about 125 pips, right? Now, for those of us who were looking at that of the lower time frame, we have it and shoulder, and we now got the entry order block on the 15 minutes time frame. Very easy setup on 15 minutes time frame. As you can see, the 15 minutes time frame, this is the particular order block here on the 15 minutes time frame, which happens to be a very good order block for us, at least for the entry model. Now, for those of us who waited for the entry model, we got this here, and we're having the 12 pip stop loss. And the reason why I used 12 pip stop loss was because I was trying to cover this particular high here. I was trying to cover this particular high here, so that in case market push to that particular level, we were targeting the same TP area, right? Targeting the same TP area. Can you see that on my own I have 11, so that's ratio 1 to 11, just because I waited for that entry model, which is a very good one. When you know what you are looking for in the market, it reduces the noise of you having a lot of stop loss before your profit comes in. And also, for you to have this kind of a trade, it does not come every day, but you need to understand that you must be patient enough to wait for it, because when you trade every setup you have on your screen, you encounter a lot of losses. But when you have that rule-based system, that condition you want the markets to meet before you trade, then there's this peace that comes within you when you are trading. You even trade without not running after your MT4, your MT5. So that was how we caught this beautiful setup on that of AUDCHF. As I'm talking today, this market is still in a downtrend, because seeing what we have here, let me go back to 4 hours time frame. You see what we have here on this 4 hours time frame. The market is still selling, it's still within. Okay, let's check as of today. Let's check yesterday. Can you see that yesterday candle was a very strong bearish candle? So in this particular 4 hours OB that we took our TP, and I also update the group that, okay guys, this is a very good level for those of you who can hold for a long time. Take your profits, and let's wait for another good or beautiful setup again. And we are still in this particular bearish movement on AUDC share. There's something I want you to understand, right? Is you must understand the higher time frame. I know I make a video that was early September, that for the rest of the year, I will focus more on higher time frame trend, right? I want to see what the bigger picture of the market is saying before I make my decision in the market. And that will allow me to also reduce the noise of jumping on all the setup I'm looking at. What I just want you to do as a trader is take this video, watch the video, look at how we approach the market now, make your own decision, then go back to your chart, right? Check, does these conditions resonate with you or with kind of style of trading? All right, guys, I remain my humble self, Banks, and never forget that if you have not subscribed to this particular channel, please, guys, I urge you, subscribe to the channel so that I can have access to more top-down analysis like this. And don't forget, Our Technical Tuesday is free, it's open. You have a Telegram group. Just join us so that you can always have access to our top down analysis on every Tuesday, which are Technical Tuesday. And also, you can also join us on our market insight on every Sunday so that you can see how we trade together as a team, as a community. All right, guys, I wish us a profitable week ahead. Peace.